Hello, welcome back to another Reddit video. What terrifying confession has someone told you while drunk? We're so close to 40 subscribers, you guys. Who's going to be lucky 40th subscriber? Enjoy. I worked in a hospital and an alcoholic guy I knew from around my town came in. Of course he was very drunk, so he got a bed. He was homeless at this point. Just as he was starting to settle, he screamed, I slit his throat. So I went up to him and asked him to settle, and he started telling me that he did it while in the army and could never forgive himself for it. Cried himself to sleep and died in the local park a few months later. Holy duck, that ending though. Once at a college party, this big guy got upset, picked up the table and threw it across the room, shouting, my uncle molested me. Everyone was terrified, but we all felt really bad for the guy. Damn, fingers crossed somebody there helped him into therapy. That statement'll stop a party dead in its tracks. And honestly, for his sake it's good that it did. Yeah, it was heartbreaking when he started to break down and cry after realizing what had just happened. Needless to say, the party was over. Next party. Dude, let's not invite Joe this time. But seriously, I hope that the moment was cathartic for him, and now that it was out there, that he was then able to talk about it and find closure and justice. I have a friend whose grandmother married her late husband's friend. One day while drunk he confessed to killing her first husband. She packed up the kids and left. Did she report him? Did he kill the first husband to get her for himself? Or did he marry her out of guilt? I have questions. I think the second killed the first to get with his wife. I just asked my buddy if she ever went to the police. Was he, by any chance, Uncle Claudius? I have two. I had a housemate in college, who several years prior, had accidentally shot and killed a friend of his in a hunting accident. He went to trial, and was acquitted of all charges. Years later, he didn't tell me, but he told a woman I was intimate with, that it wasn't an accident. Years ago, when I worked at the Las Vegas Hilton, in the main kitchen, I had a very high-strung boss named Hussein. He was from Turkey. We jokingly referred to him as insane, because of his personality. Once, after our shift was over, he grabbed a case of beer from the supply walk-in refrigerator, and invited a few of us to help ourselves. He probably had 4 or 5 himself. He then proceeded to tell us that when he lived in Turkey, he had kicked some guy's ass and came to the US to get away. My co-workers and I really didn't give it too much thought. About a month later, we came to find out that while on vacation in Mexico, Hussein had been walking back to his hotel room after drinking at a bar. He had ducked down an alley to take a piss, and was caught by a policeman. He was charged and convicted of public urination. At least at the time. The US didn't have reciprocity with Turkey, but Mexico did. Well, it turns out that what Hussein had described as kicking someone's ass turned out to be murder. He was taken back to Turkey, where we assume that he spent the rest of his life in a Turkish prison. The movie The Midnight Express portrays what life is like there. A friend of mine died from a drug overdose. After the funeral, a mutual friend of ours and I were getting drunk when he broke down crying. He asked me if I remembered the time when he and our dead friend told me about an accident that they'd witnessed where they saw a truck driver die. I told him I did. He then told me the most ducked up crap. He said that our friend ran up to the dying man and stole his wedding ring, and that the man couldn't do anything but look up, terrified, at our friend as he was being robbed. I knew they were bad into drugs, but I never thought they could do anything like that. I grew up with them. They were like my brothers. I don't really trust anyone completely anymore. No drugs or alcohol involved. But I have somewhat of a similar story. A few years ago, my mom witnessed an accident. A lady was texting, blew through a red light, and T-boned a truck with an elderly man driving. My mom jumped out of her car, and held onto him, while waiting for an ambulance. The girl who hit him, early 20s, was freaking out and called her mom. The mom showed up first, and kept telling my mom, just tell the cops he ran the red light. No one will know. And he died. My mom heard his last words. Sounds. Really. That she repeated for weeks. My mom cried for days. She met the family, and it was the man and his wife's anniversary, or something like that. We obviously told the cops the truth, but we don't know any of the follow-up. His obituary is framed on our wall. I hate to think the last thing he heard was just tell the cops this was his fault. Congrats, you made it to the end. Here's an awesome deal. If you share this with 5 people, you will have good luck for the next week. Also please make sure to subscribe for more epic Reddit videos like these. I'll see you very soon.